There are so many what ifs in the game of basketball. So many what if this happened or what if this never happened. Whether it's players, teams, coaches, the history of basketball could be altered by just one change. The main instances of what ifs in basketball have to do with injuries. A player's potential slowed or completely halted by an injury or many injuries. These injuries rob the fans of seeing greatness and robs the players of achieving greatness. Today, we look at someone who was stripped of his basketball career. Someone who showed great potential but succumbed to injuries like many others. One of the biggest what-if stories in NBA history. Join us as we look at the basketball career of Brandon Roy, the sensational two-guard for the Portland Trail Blazers, whose short career left us pondering what could have been. Brandon Roy will be selected 6th overall pick in the 2006 NBA draft to the Minnesota Timberwolves, then was traded to the Portland Trail Blazers. The Trail Blazers hadn't had much success for the past few years at this point, and they needed someone to help them pull out that slump. B. Roy was the man that they believed in doing this. He had a beautiful shooting form and stroke. He was a crafty finisher inside with the Tony Parker-esque teardrop. And he was an incredibly skilled ball handler with quick and fast ball handling moves. His moves were so smooth and organic that he earned the nickname, the Natural. In his rookie year, he showed great promise. He averaged 17 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, while shooting 45% from the field. This will earn him Rookie of the Year, receiving 127 out of 128 votes. Roy's rookie year gave Portland and their fans hope of a bright future. However, signs of his real future would show, as he did miss many games due to knee injuries, only playing 57 games. His second year, he improved on his already impressive abilities and bumped his averages to 19 points, 6 assists, as well as earning his first All-Star selection, only his second season. He would hurt his ankle one game before the All-Star game, but decided to play through the pain. A decision in hindsight proved to be a terrible one. His third year, though, was his best season, which really pointed him in the direction of superstardom, as he averaged 22 points, 5 assists, and shot 48% from the field. He was picked for his second straight All-Star game and was named All-NBA second team. He showed that he can be the best player on the team and that he can take the big shots down the stretch. From his career-high 52 points to his career-high 10 steals to his deep buzzer-beater game winner against the Houston Rockets, Roy was unstoppable in the 08-09 season. He led the Trailblazers to the playoffs for the first time in 5 years and averaged 26 points, 5 rebounds, a steal, and a block, although in a losing effort to the Houston Rockets in 6 games. Things seemed to be on the up for Roy and the Blazers, but unfortunately, that was his peak of what he would do in the league. The following year, he would make his third straight All-Star appearance, made All-NBA third team, but would injure his hamstring, then his knee, which would result in surgery. He would have to get surgery on both his knees, which resulted in him never returning to All-Star level again. The Blazers will put him on the bench for majority of the 2010-2011 season after suffering another injury during the season. And Roy averaged career lows in almost all statistical categories. B. Roy was a shell of his former self, which just was a couple of seasons before this. His knees were deteriorating, and his agility and skill set were digressing significantly because of this. However, this did not stop him from putting up one more spectacular performance for the heartbreaking end of his career. In the 2011 playoffs, the Blazers matched up against the 3rd seed Dallas Mavericks in the first round. The Mavericks went up 2-0 against the Portland Blazers before Brandon Roy showed signs of his former self. In Game 3, Roy dropped 16 points to help the Blazers get their first victory in the series. Then in Game 4, the Natural truly awakened as he dropped 24 points, 18 of which came in the fourth quarter to tie the series 2-2. However, that was all the fight he had left, as the Trailblazers would succumb to defeat 2 games later to the Mavs. That was all that was left of B-Roy. Before the start of the next season, Brandon Roy announced his retirement at the young age of 27. He announced that the bone in his knees lacked so much cartilage that he couldn't continue to play basketball. He did try a comeback a season later with the Minnesota Timberwolves, but only played 5 games before stepping away for good. A sad and depressing end to what was an incredibly promising career. If injuries did not get in the way, who knows what Brandon Roy's career would look like? Multiple All-NBA first teams? A league MVP? One of the best 2 guards of his generation? Possibly even leading the Blazers to a finals appearance? Who knows? And the craziest thing about all that is all those potential accomplishments and accolades are not an exaggeration, nor does it seem out of reach when it comes to the potential of Brandon Roy's career. But the heartbreaking truth of all of it is, we'll never know.